Hey, I'm Morgan Gales with Cycle World Magazine, and today we are out on Mount Laguna with the 2021 Harley-Davidson Heritage Classic 114 and the 2022 Indian Super Chief Limited. On paper, these bikes are very similar in almost every way, from wheelbase, seat height, weight, engine displacement, all the way down to all the accessories that they come equipped with. But in real-world testing, their differences become very apparent. We've put about 1,000 miles on each of these bikes through twisty mountain roads and on highways, and we've got a good experience on them. So let's get into what these bikes are, what they do well, and any shortcomings that we found through our testing. All right, we just got down off the mountain. We are now in Pine Valley at the beautiful 100-year-old Pine Valley house, having some coffee, finished our testing. I'm here with Andy Cherney, Cycle World's editor-at-large. Andy, thanks for coming down from Portland.
Hey, always a pleasure. I love doing these comparisons, especially with these two manufacturers, so I'm looking forward to discussing all the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, man, we had some fun riding these bikes, so let's get straight into it. Let's talk about the engine and the feel.
It's amazing because these bikes within the displacement is so similar. 116 on the Indian, 114 for the Harley, but they carry their power just differently. It's interesting. You don't think of it's going to be that different until you get on the bike. You want to talk about how the Harley comes on in its power band?
The Indian is a little bit quicker off the line, but the Harley's a little bit quicker to 100. When we look at our performance testing numbers, we see the Indian got to 30 miles per hour, 0.2 of a second faster than the Harley, but in the quarter mile, the Harley was a little bit quicker. Yeah,
but they're so close, and it's like you wouldn't know by looking at the specs that they're that close, because on the bike, the feel is completely different. The Indian feels it feels like the power is there, it's ready to run, it's ready to go when you want it to. But there is some kind of disconnect on the throttle, I felt like. There's a little slack.
Yeah, and having that engine in other applications where we've been able to test it and see what it can do before, then switching over here to the Chief where we do have very vague throttle feel. There's a little bit of a disconnect for that throttle sensor. So when you twist the throttle, there's a delay. It doesn't immediately rev up. And then the clutch feel is incredibly vague as well. So it just makes really precise control very difficult.
Getting the coordination right to where you need it in the revs, and you feel like you have to carry the revs a little higher to make that connection better. So I thought that was interesting, even though the motor is like, you can feel that there's a lot of juice there, and you want to just access it a little more precisely. Just not as easy to do.
And so much of the cruiser ethos is your connection to that bike, and on the Harley the throttle feel is so connected. You can increase idle just by barely touching it, and the clutch feel is great. So you do feel very connected. It makes precise control of that engine easy. Let's talk about the suspension and brakes of the bike. The Indian, I felt like it was a little bit stiff, like it was more tuned for the aggressive ride, and you lose out on some of that plushness on the highway.
It's interesting to me that they have almost the same front suspension travel, 5.1 on the Harley, 5.2 inches on the Indian. And I don't know if that's the case of the stiffness, like you're saying. I've had the same impression. And they also have the same tires, so there's no...
Same tire sizes.
Same tire sizes, right, sorry.
In the front.
In the front. But to that point, the Indian did carry the bumps. The bump control was a little harsher, a little more stiff.
But that also comes back to that rear suspension travel.
I think the two go hand in hand, absolutely. And that's where the Harley really shines. I mean, it brings a lot more travel to the rear. You have 4.4, whereas the Indian has just a 3-inch travel, and you can feel that difference.
Absolutely. On a Chief like the Dark Horse, it wasn't...
Which you rode.
I spent a good amount of time on the Chief Dark Horse, and the stiffer suspension and the limited travel felt more suited for that more aggressive style. But when you get into, heavyweight cruiser, lightweight touring bikes that we're testing here, you want more plushness and you want more highway capability without feeling like you're getting jarred.
Right, you want a different ride quality, and presumably that's going to affect, or the ergos are going to affect that as well, so that you're positioned on the bike differently, and you can feel those imperfections a little more because you're more upright.
I'd say as far as the suspension components, the Harley really nailed the plushness, but was also still composed when we were whipping through turns. Whereas the Indian was great ripping through turns, it just was a little bit rough on the highway.
Yeah, and the Harley, like to your point, the suspension on both sides was like a little more kind of cohesive. They worked well together. Yeah. Whereas the Indian, like the front was, I felt like a little more positive, in terms of absorbing the bumps, but the rear was just a little out of its depth in that case.
Yeah,
so.
I agree. Let's talk about handling and geometry on the bikes. While we look on paper, you're looking at the wheelbase is 64.2 on the Harley, 64 inches on the Indian. Ground clearance is 4.7 on the Harley, 4.9 on the Indian.
Neck and so
exactly.
You're
looking at lean angles, 28.5.
Yeah.
28.5.
I mean, they're within
30 degree rake on the Harley, 29 degree rake on the Indian. Everything on paper looks like it should be the same.
Yeah.
But when you get these bikes out there and you're actually riding them, it is not the case.
It's crazy how, you look at just something that seems to be an objective measurement, these weights, these dimensions, these, heights, and on the road, man, it's just the Harley, you feel like you're sitting more in the bike, you're more connected to the bike, you have more control of it, whether that's handlebar position or overall body position. But it just responds to your inputs a lot more positively and readily.
Yeah, the Harley-Davidson is 14 pounds lighter than the Indian while carrying a gallon more gas.
Bigger tank, right.
That is a big weight difference, but also it's the way it carries its weight. The Harley feels like it carries its weight much lower. And so when you're handling, the Indian takes a bit of muscling. It doesn't drop in and pull out of the turns like the Harley does. And in comparison, the Harley, it's nimble and it's flickable.
Right.
End of the day, yesterday you were saying your shoulders were a little bit.
Yeah, and the bar position has something to do with that too, but you can feel the weight a lot more by the way it's positioned, and I don't know if that's a function of the bar positioning, the fact that it's not on taller risers, but the weight, to your point, the tank is, I think, a little flatter, whereas the Harley slopes down a little, so that might have something to do with how the weight is distributed.
Yeah, and I mean, even, you're talking about those bars, they're so low, and the angle...
On the Indian.
I'd hit my knees when I was turning,
for you,
so I had to stay aware of that at all times, which... It's just another thing to think about.
Right, and I will say, like, to Indian's credit, like that, the ergonomics for me were fine. I mean, I'm 5'7", fit me fine, but it's a different kind of a reach. So.
Yeah, the Harley has a 150 millimeter rear tire, whereas the Indian has 180 mil. That's where
a lot
of that heavy handling comes from, is when you have any input to that rear tire in the middle of a turn, it wants to stand back up. So you really have to sort of fight to keep it there, whereas the Harley's handling is much more neutral.
Exactly right, with basically the same set of geometry dimensions, other than that rear tire, which boom, there you have the difference, and it just really makes a huge difference.
Yeah, just the rear tire and the weight.
Initiating the turn, where you are in the turn, whether you need to kind of readjust your line, you're going to be fighting it a lot more, especially at speed.
And also, lean angle and scrape points. The floorboards on the Harley-Davidson have a few degrees of give where you can start to scrape and then sort of just feel that out, almost use it like a slider where you're feeling as you go and you can through the turn. Whereas on the Super Chief, you don't have a lot of give before hitting hard points.
Yes.
And that's scary.
It is. And you have to correct fast once you touch down that floorboard.
Yeah.
And again, that goes to the braking, which you have to apply the brakes, and then now the tire wants to stand you up because it's a fat tire. So it's two go hand in hand.
The Heritage feels very planted when you're pushing it through turns. It's locked in. It holds your line.
Motor's in.
Whereas when you're really pushing that Super Chief, it just doesn't have that same solid planted feeling.
And you don't feel as confident because once you feel that wiggle, you're like, okay, now I need to correct, and that affects everything going backwards.
And then that gets back to the clutch and throttle feel where you're correcting, and it just, it's so many things to think about that pull you out of the moment.
To be fair, we were riding these bikes pretty hard. I mean, we were really hammering them.
We did a couple hundred highway miles getting in and out of here, but once we got to the mountain, we were sending it. We were riding these bikes.
We were just on it all the time.
Sharpening up some floorboards. So
as we had to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'd say we did a good scope of tests there. In pretty much every avenue of handling, I think the Harley surpassed the Indian.
think. And in terms of like you're saying, I think we were talking about this earlier, unrelated, but the Harley just feels overall more cohesive, more refined, like everything works together better. And a lot of these are just little points, but they all intermesh like at the end of the day.
And it's worth noting that this Softail model comes from an unbroken lineage of cruiser motorcycles. So Harley's been building, tweaking, adjusting, refining this motorcycle for how long?
Yeah.
Whereas the Super Chief is a brand new chassis, first year. So
ground up.
Right. So, you know, hopefully we will see some refinement in these.
Yeah, exactly.
In these
They'll
in the
tweak
next
it.
years.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Ergonomics, I think we talked about. The Harley felt, for me anyway, more upright. You're kind of more in a, you know, kind of position, attack position. So I had no shoulder kind of pain or anything after, like, you know, a long, whatever, 7-hour day.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the floorboards, like you said, less angled on the Harley. So you got a 90-degree
flatter,
bend.
a little bit lower.
Flatter. So just kind of a natural position, whereas the Indian is a little more, I think, aggressive.
Got this wide sort of beach
Wide
bars.
bar, right? And the saddle is flatter, so you're not sitting in the bike, but more on top of it.
Right.
Which works for some in maneuvers, but for long days, it does catch up to you, I think, a little bit.
Right. Yeah, you're much more on the bike than in it.
Yeah. And the padding, I don't think, was as, you know, comfortable on the Indian.
The Harley seat is just it's just more surface area that you're sitting in, and the lower, flatter floorboards are more comfortable, and I don't feel like there's a compromise for lean angle.
Right, and you had no problem with your knees, like on the Harley's
No, the bars were a good height.
Right.
I was very comfortable on that bike. I've got no soreness or achiness anywhere. Yeah, nothing was hitting my knees.
Yes, pretty important.
Yeah, my knees were above the tanks on both bikes.
All
but
right.
I'm ganglion, and that's just how it goes.
But that, well, that kind of runs into exactly like your point, like the whole, you're talking about the ergonomics, that runs into the accessories, which is the windshield is one thing, which you're feeling right behind the bar, right in front of the bars. And you said, I think you like the Indian better in terms of that windshield?
The windshields are about the same height, but the Indian's a little bit steeper. So I got a little bit more buffeting from the Heritage windshield than I did from the Indian.
And I had the opposite. It felt like the Harley was a little better suited to me. I'm a lot lower, you know, so it's kind of right here.
Yeah.
I kind of get a little more
Either way,
protection.
I did end up crouching down underneath the thing, trying to hide underneath it. The dash on the Indian, that ride command system, it's incredible. It's so nice. That's one of the best updates that Indian has with this bike.
Agree.
It's a classic round gauge. When it's off, it's just black. You know, you don't have this big screen that you're looking at.
But it's a touch screen, which is like so cool. I mean, it looks like an old school gauge.
It's bright, it's clear, it's easy to read,
at night
easy
even.
to navigate.
Yeah.
So that's a really strong point.
Big plus.
You know, it's a very high-end, luxury-looking gauge. Whereas the Harley, it's simple, it's analog. You look down if you want to know how fast you're going, but for the most part,
it's pretty basic.
It's pretty basic.
And
it's
it does
pretty
the
easy
job.
to ignore.
Yeah, exactly. And now I'll pop the bags. They both have bags.
They both have bags. Some more usable than others.
Yes, let's talk about the Harley's bags.
Yeah, the Harley's
like
bags are great. They're rigid framed, so they hold their form.
Leather looking.
Right? I believe it's leather wrapped.
Right.
With the blackened nickel studs that look cool.
They look really cool.
Single button to open it up.
And they're lockable.
Which are so nice.
Awesome.
Removable with 4 bolts, just like the Indians, but they're much larger than the Indians.
Yeah, they're shaped differently. They're a little more capacity. I feel like I haven't done the numbers on those, but I feel like there's a lot more capacity with the Harley and more usable capacity because the cutouts are not as severe with the pipes.
Exactly. The pipe side, you lose a lot of storage on the right side on the Indian. You do lose a little bit of storage on the right side on the Harley, but it's not as much.
It's not that much.
The Indian, you have leather straps with plastic buckles underneath.
More traditional, kind of older school.
Exactly.
They look like throwover bags.
It's what you'd expect to see saddlebags 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But on a $21,000 bike, I would just like to see something a little bit more refined. Locking bags, easier to access.
Right.
Fit and finish is major currency for cruisers.
Absolutely.
It is
one of the top
items
people look at.
But you know, so much attention goes into hiding the plumbing, hiding the wires on a Harley-Davidson and on an Indian. You know, underneath the neck of the Harley, you have this little plastic box which hides the wiring harness. Whereas on the Indian, you have that really nice window of the frame. It's just obstructed by this massive wiring harness that droops through it.
Right.
Yeah.
The Harley looks a lot cleaner, a lot more kind of like thought through. Everything flows a little better, down to even the air cleaner cover. It's just kind of like a nice kind of
as opposed to the
sleek,
very large one on the Indian.
Right.
I do prefer that color, the paint of the Indian.
Oh, absolutely.
I really like that candy metallic blue. Whereas the flake in the black on the Harley, it tends to just look a little dusty.
It's almost unnoticeable until you really get up next to it.
And I found myself, grabbing a rag to wipe down the fender, and it's just the flake in the paint. It's not dust.
But I did like other cool touches on the Harley, like the trim on the fender. I mean, look at that hub on the front wheel.
There's
really
a lot of components there that feel and look very high end. You have the chrome on the fenders. You have the chrome blinker mount. You have the badge on the tank. Whereas on the Indian, the badge on the tank,
you found a little
it's sort of peeling up on both sides. For a premium bike, for a $21,000 bike.
Yeah, these are $20,000 machines.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's something that really, it doesn't take a lot to make it feel chintzy.
Right.
And so to see the labels peeling up there was really disappointing.
It was disappointing, yeah. And because like you say, you look at it from afar, you're like, man, that's a beautiful machine. Look at that, Ride Command Boom.
And that's the brand. That's the big bold badge on the tank.
Exactly.
You walk up and you go, oh, an Indian, so cool. And then you see it peeling up and it's like, okay.
But like you say, they'll fix it next year.
They will.
In production.
I'm sure they will.
It'll be fine. And that's not, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
It's totally fine.
So at the end of the day, we have two beautiful American heavyweight cruisers that are all gussied up with their long mile trim. And really, either bike is well qualified for long miles and good trips.
Oh God, absolutely. I saw that Indian for the first time and I walked across the parking lot. That paint is beautiful. Like the whole design is just amazing. The motor, once you cracked it, I was like, wow, this is a really nice, powerful, meaty power brand, and you just want to get on it, and you know it can get you through the day easily.
Right, but there were a few things that we would like to see refined. That throttle placement sensor was very vague. The clutch feel was vague. I feel like for this type of riding, we'd like to see a little bit more plush and balanced suspension, and then a few of those little fit and finish things just, refined for next year.
And how about that Harley though? I mean, I'm talking about how beautiful the Indian looks. The Harley's got the whole package. The trim, the fit and finish, everything is like refined, it's beautiful. Ergonomically, it fit me even better. Like the handlebar's nice and tall, you had great input, you had perfect feel, comfortable saddle, and the motor was just so intuitive. You felt like it never fought you when you wanted to give it input, and it was always there when you needed it. Yeah, the Harley was incredibly comfortable. It's easy to ride. For me, it really fit the best of both worlds as far as highway and canyon with comfortable ergonomics. I would like to see something like that gauge on the Indian, the Ride Command, to make the Harley feel a little bit more 2021. But in the end, it's a great motorcycle that does everything that we asked it to very well. So after all of our testing, the 2021 Harley-Davidson Heritage Classic 114 came out as the clear winner. Big thanks to the Pine Valley House here in Pine Valley. If you're around, check it out. Awesome saloon and grill. Thanks for watching. We hope you like what we're doing. Like, follow, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.